Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of demographics, but like the really interesting parts. We're talking about atheism, and specifically, the top 10 countries with the highest rates of atheism. Different surveys and studies might define atheism and non-religious in slightly different ways, and people's beliefs can be fluid and complex. But even with those caveats, the trends we're going to be looking at are pretty striking. Get ready to be surprised because some of these countries might not be what you expect. First up, we're headed to the most populous country on Earth, China. Now, China has a long and complex history with religion. After the Communist Revolution in 1949, the officially atheist government began to discourage religious practice, seeing it as a threat to their authority. And it worked. Today, surveys consistently show that China has the highest number of atheists in the world, with estimates suggesting that over 60 to 70% of the population identifies as non-religious or atheist. For many Chinese people, it's less about actively rejecting the existence of a god, and more about a lack of affiliation with any organized religion. Still, the sheer scale of non-belief in China is undeniable, and it raises some fascinating questions about the role of government, history, and culture in shaping religious beliefs. From the bustling metropolises of China, we travel westward to the heart of Europe, to a country with a very different story, the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic has a long history of religious skepticism and free thought. Way back in the 14th century, you had religious reformers like Jan Hus challenging the authority of the Catholic Church. But it was really the 20th century, with its tumultuous mix of world wars, totalitarian regimes, and rapid modernization, that cemented the Czech Republic's status as a secular stronghold. Today, over 70% of Czechs identify as non-religious or atheist, making it one of the most secular countries in the world. Our next stop takes us north to the Baltic region, to a country known for its stunning natural beauty and its deep-seated secularism, Estonia. Centuries of foreign rule, first by the Teutonic Knights, then by Sweden, and later by Russia, exposed Estonians to a variety of religious traditions, but none ever quite took root as a dominant force. This created fertile ground for secular ideas to flourish, especially during the Enlightenment, when thinkers across Europe began to question traditional sources of authority, including the Church. And then, of course, there was the Soviet period. From 1940 to 1991, Estonia was part of the officially atheist Soviet Union. This period had a profound impact on religious life in Estonia, contributing to a decline in religious affiliation and a rise in secularism. Today, around 70% of Estonians identify as non-religious or atheist. From the Baltic Sea, we head northwest to Scandinavia, to a land of Vikings, fjords, and surprisingly, some of the highest rates of atheism in the world, Sweden. Over centuries, Christianity gradually replaced those older beliefs, becoming the dominant religion in Sweden and throughout Scandinavia. However, Swedish Christianity has always had a distinct flavor. It's generally been more focused on personal faith and less on strict dogma or rituals, which might help explain why Sweden has been so receptive to secular ideas. This era saw the rise of strong social safety nets, universal healthcare, and high-quality public education, all factors that have been linked to declining religiosity in many developed countries. Today, Sweden stands as one of the most secular nations on Earth, with estimates suggesting that around 60 to 70% of Swedes are non-religious or atheist. From Sweden, we hop over to its neighbor Denmark, a country known for its cozy Hygge lifestyle, its delicious pastries, and yes, its remarkably high rates of atheism. Like Sweden, Danish Christianity has tended to be more low-key, more focused on personal faith, and less on outward displays of religiosity. This cultural context, combined with Denmark's strong social safety net and high levels of education, has created an environment where religious belief isn't seen as a necessity for a good life. And this secular trend is only getting stronger, especially among younger generations. Today, it's estimated that around 60 to 70% of Danes are atheist or non-religious, making it one of the most secular societies in the world. Continuing our Scandinavian adventure, we sail north to Norway, a land of breathtaking fjords, captivating folklore, and you guessed it, a whole lot of atheists. Now, Norway's religious history is similar to that of its Scandinavian neighbors. But what's interesting about Norway is that despite its high rates of atheism, there's still a strong sense of cultural Christianity. Even though many Norwegians don't actively practice religion, they still participate in traditional Christian rituals like baptisms, confirmations, and church weddings. It's almost like these rituals have become more about cultural identity than religious belief. But for now, Norway remains a fascinating example of a country where secularism and cultural Christianity coexist, sometimes comfortably, sometimes not. And the numbers don't lie, around 60% of Norwegians identify as non-religious or atheist. From the land of the midnight sun, we journey eastward to the land of the rising sun, Japan. Now, Japan might seem like an unexpected addition to this list. After all, it's a country known for its beautiful temples, its ancient rituals, and its deep spirituality. But it's not quite as straightforward as it might seem. Japan has two main religions: Shinto, the indigenous religion of Japan, and Buddhism, which arrived from China in the 6th century. But here's the thing, most Japanese people don't see Shinto and Buddhism as mutually exclusive. In fact, it's very common for people to practice elements of both religions. This syncretic approach to religion, where different belief systems are blended together, is a key part of Japanese culture. Still, there's no denying that Japan is a highly secular country, with a strong emphasis on reason, logic, and the material world. Estimates suggest that anywhere from 50 to 60% of the population could be considered non-religious or atheist, making Japan one of the least religious societies in the world. From the bustling streets of Tokyo, we travel back to Europe, to a country known for its tulips, windmills, and its long tradition of tolerance and acceptance, the Netherlands. The Netherlands has a fascinating and complex relationship with religion. It was once a stronghold of Calvinism, a strict branch of Protestantism. But over the centuries, the Netherlands has become increasingly secular, embracing a live and let live attitude toward religion. This shift toward secularism can be attributed to a number of factors, including the Dutch tradition of tolerance, which has its roots in the country's history as a haven for religious minorities fleeing persecution. Today, surveys indicate that around 50 to 60% of Dutch people are non-religious or atheist, making it one of the most secular countries in Europe. From the canals of Amsterdam, we journey to East Asia, to a country known for its K-pop, its kimchi, and its rapidly growing economy, South Korea. Now, South Korea might seem like an outlier on this list. After all, it's a country with a strong Confucian heritage, and Confucianism, with its emphasis on family, tradition, and respect for authority, is often seen as more of a philosophy or a way of life than a religion. But South Korea also has a significant Christian population, particularly among Protestants, who have been very active in spreading their faith in recent decades. This rapid change has led to a breakdown of traditional social structures and values, including religious beliefs. As a result of these factors, South Korea has witnessed a significant decline in religious affiliation in recent years, with a growing portion of the population, now 50% or more, identifying as non-religious. And finally, there's the perception among some South Koreans that organized religion, particularly Christianity, is too focused on proselytizing and converting others, rather than on addressing social issues or promoting spiritual growth. Our final stop takes us back to Europe, to the land of Baguettes, Berets, and a long and storied tradition of secularism, France. France's relationship with religion is deeply intertwined with its history. The revolution led to the separation of church and state, enshrined in the French concept of laïcité, which emphasizes the neutrality of the public sphere with regard to religion. This principle of laïcité has shaped French society and identity ever since, fostering a culture where religion is generally seen as a private matter. But there's no doubt that laïcité has contributed to France's status as one of the most secular countries in the world. Today, around 50% of the population in France is non-religious or atheist, making it a fascinating case study in the complex relationship between religion, history, and national identity. So, there you have it, our whirlwind tour of the top 10 atheist countries in the world. Each of these countries has its own unique history, culture, and set of factors that have contributed to its high rates of atheism. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. See you next time.